So now I'm going to put on the hat of the managing director for a particular magazine. And I'm going to say that I'm in charge of approving particular pages within the workflow, and maybe I've gotten some information about some changes that need to be made to a story that I need to communicate to a designer. Or let's just say I want to go ahead and watch the production of the print edition while it's going on. That's easy to do in Content Station with a little application that we call Publication Overview. If I double click, it'll open inside of its own tab, and then I could go ahead and choose which brand I want to look at, and I'll select Our Globe Monthly. I can choose which issue I want to look at, and I'll just choose the '09 August issue. Edition, and I can even go so far as to choose which status for those particular pages that I want to see. I go ahead and click on this search button here, and what pops up on my screen are previews of the different pages. I can use the slider to increase the zoom and get slightly larger previews. But I could say that I want an even better preview, so I'll go ahead and double click on this page 6 here, 6 out of 20. You see it zooms up on my screen, and as I hover over each particular element, you'll see that I get an information about its status, and I get a color to indicate what that status is. You can see that it's layout ready to print, its name, article edited, etc. I can also choose to look at things in a spread view. So when I do that, I can even go ahead and hide my targets for a moment. You'll see that I get the two pages 6 and 7 side by side. Now Enterprise has something that we call stickies. And stickies are basically post-it notes that you can put on the design that will show up inside of InDesign when a designer opens up or has that page on their screen. I'll go ahead and click on this new stickies button here, and I can say this article has shifted focus. Let's change the picture. And so now if the designer has this page up on their screen, when I go ahead and close this, it would pop up automatically, and then they could go ahead and delete it or write their own sticky, which would also be available here on this screen. So it's kind of a nice way to be able to communicate back and forth, as opposed to just using InDesign's little notes features, which can be sort of hard to see on the page itself. So I'll go ahead and close this. I could also decide that this entire page then needs to be moved back from ready to print to still editing, because we're making some changes to it. You can see that when I hover, it's going to tell me that the layout itself is ready to print, and I get this little color block that is green. If I go to Properties, I could go ahead and select Layout Editing and then click on OK. You'll see that the color changes because I do have colors associated with statuses. And then when I'm done, just go ahead and close it. It just tells me sticky notes are changed. Save them before continuing. I say yes, and the sticky's there for the designer.